Welcome to Beyond Time Management. I'm Dr. Lon Schiffbauer, and this is Module 1, Defining Your Purpose and Vision. When it comes to setting and accomplishing goals, and of course then managing our time and other resources around working toward those goals, you have no chance of success, and I mean that, no chance of success, if you don't first understand why you're doing what you're doing. In other words, what your purpose and vision is. So to begin with, let's talk about what is purpose and vision and why it's so important. Let's start with purpose. Purpose is your why, the reason you do what you do. As it says here, it's the underlying motivation that drives your actions and gives meaning to your efforts. Sort of your raison d'etre. This is who I am. This is what I do. What is it in Fast and Furious? This is who we are, right? This is purpose. Purpose connects your goals and values and helps sustain your commitment, especially when things sort of get tough. All right, so that's purpose, at least in a nutshell. Nutshell brainery, get it? Okay, now let's talk about vision. Vision is the clear picture of what success looks like for you in the long term. It describes your ideal future outcome, what you hope to achieve through all of your efforts. After all, you're about to put in a lot of hard work. Where do you want this hard work to take you? What do you want to have as an end result of all your effort? Vision also serves as a North Star, providing direction and motivation, helping you stay on course, especially when challenges and obstacles threaten to stand in your way. And trust me, they will. About half of the equation of accomplishing great things lies in our ability to overcome obstacles and hurdles. So that's purpose and vision. And together, purpose and vision calibrate your goals and actions, help you prioritize tasks, manage resources, and maintain focus as you work toward your objectives. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of this episode, you have no chance of success if you don't understand why you're doing it and where you want your work to take you. All right, so now that means we need to know what our purpose and vision is. So let's go ahead and explore this. Let's begin with purpose. I'm going to give you 5 techniques, 5 steps you can take to really hone in on what your purpose is. Remember, we're trying to discover our why. Why do we do what we do? So the first thing we want to do is identify our core values. We want to list 10 to 15 values that matter most to you. We're talking about things like integrity, creativity, family, freedom, success, and so forth. The values, they reflect you, so it's totally up to you what values you choose. Next, we want to narrow the list of our values to more or less our top 3 to 5 by asking ourselves, which of these values define who I am and what I stand for? The idea is to take the 10 to 15 values that we came up with in the first stage and kind of distill them down to 3 to 5 core themes. This is important because knowing your core values, this helps you align your purpose with your authentic self. This, in turn, helps you prevent burnout or dissatisfaction from pursuing goals that ultimately may not really mean anything to you. They sound cool, but it's not who you are. Now, there are many ways that you can go through this first stage, but I have put together a form that you can use that helps you identify your core values and kind of turn them into themes and actions. The form is available on Patreon. If you look in the description below, there'll be a link to the form and to my Patreon community. There's a small fee for the form. However, if you join my Patreon community at the tiers of Shellmates, Inner Shell Circle, or Shell-Shocked Scholars, this form and all the other forms that we're going to talk about in this series are free to you. It's one of the perks of being a member of my Patreon. So head on over there and take a look and see what other perks are waiting for you. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is to reflect on past experiences in which you felt the most fulfilled, proud, or energized. After all, these are probably the times that you were most in sync with your purpose. As you reflect, ask yourself questions like, what were you doing? Who was involved? And what is it about what you were doing that made you feel so awesome? The idea is that purpose often stems from what makes us feel most alive and of worth, right? We want to feel like we have worth in this world. So reflections such as these can often at least point us in the right direction when it comes to identifying our purpose. One little quote that I like, it's actually from somebody else, but John Green cited it in his book, The Anthropocene Reviewed. Here's the quote: "For anyone trying to discern what to do with their life, pay attention to what you pay attention to. That's pretty much all the info you need." I like that. Pay attention to what you pay attention to. This is part of this reflection step. Okay, so the third step to identifying our purpose is to clarify our motivations. So we are going to do this by asking ourselves questions such as, who benefits from my success and how? What challenges or problems do I want to solve? If I could change one thing in the world, what would that be? Questions such as these can really help us understand what drives us, what motivates us to move forward. You're essentially asking yourself the why question. Why do you do what you do? And knowing your why can provide motivation and desire to persevere, especially when challenges start to threaten your progress. And as I said, challenges are the name of the game, so we need to have the intestinal fortitude to overcome these challenges. This is where purpose really helps. Okay, the fourth step you can take is go through the 5 whys exercise. Probably should have been the 5th step. That would have been... Anyway, choose one of your goals or aspirations, one of your big ones, and ask why 5 times, digging deeper into your motivations with each answer. Let me give you an example for me and Nutshell Brainery, this business you're seeing right here. I want to grow Nutshell Brainery into a successful business. Why? Well, I want to have extra income when I retire in 2035. Well, why do I want to have extra income when I retire? Well, I want to be able to retire financially secure and, well, relatively carefree. Well, why do you want to retire financially secure and carefree? Well, I want to be able to travel with my wife, take on new projects, and discover new things. Well, why do you want to be able to travel with your wife and take on new challenges and discover new things? Well, learning, discovering, and thriving, this is what life is all about. Why do you think discovering, learning, and thriving is what life is all about? Because that's just who I am. That's my purpose. It's how I'm wired. So by going through these 5 whys, you're really able to get down to the root of what makes you tick, what makes you do what you do. Okay, our 5th and final step to discovering our purpose is to write up a purpose statement. The idea is to combine all the insights that you generated from the previous exercises and write out a 3 to 5 sentence statement that states the following. Who am I? What do I stand for? What impact do I want to make? And who do I want to serve? This will be a great beginning for your purpose statement. All right, so with our purpose in hand, let's move on to creating our vision. Remember, our vision describes our ideal future outcome, what we want to accomplish, the world we want to create for ourselves as a result of all of our hard work. The first step, and we're going to do 5 of these again, the first step is to, well, define this ideal future. Find a quiet place, kind of relax, put on some music, whatever your jam is. It doesn't matter. Point is, take a moment and just kind of envision what will your life be like 5, 15, even 20 years from now. As you do this, consider the following questions. What am I doing? Maybe you're looking at yourself 10 years in the future. What are you doing 10 years from now? Who are you with? What have you achieved so far? And what does your environment look like? We're talking things like your home, your work, your community, the world in which you live. What's that world like? By visualizing this future outcome, you don't make it tangible, but you make it salient. It's something you can really wrap your arms around. This in turn can act as a mental anchor to help guide you in what decisions you make and what actions you take. The second step is to define success. What does success look like to you in terms of your career, relationships, health, even personal growth? And what measurable outcomes will indicate whether or not you're successful? How are you going to measure success? By the way, we're going to talk more about that in the next episode, but we want to measure success. This helps make our vision, once again, a little bit more specific. After all, a vague vision can feel unattainable or overwhelming, whereas breaking it into specific markers makes it clear and actionable. The third step to developing your vision is to basically reverse engineer it. So imagine that you have already achieved your ideal future outcome. With this in mind, consider the following. What did you do to get there? What obstacles did you have to overcome along the way? And what were some of the milestones that you celebrated along your journey? I kind of like this exercise. I like all the exercises, but I like this exercise because a reverse roadmap from your desired future to the present helps you see where you want to go and how to get there, and therefore what you need to do from here on out. Okay, the fourth step is to create a vision board. Collect images, quotes, or symbols that represent your ideal future. Then what you do is you assemble them into a digital or physical board, it doesn't matter, and display it where you can see it on a fairly regular basis. Now, I've got one of these. I'm not going to go into detail with it, but it's fun. It's especially fun to put together. A vision board makes your goals feel real and keeps them top of mind, reinforcing your desire to strive to reach for success. Okay, the fifth and final step to developing our vision is to develop a vision statement. As we did with the purpose statement, we're going to take the insights that we derived from the previous 4 exercises, write a 3 to 5 sentence vision statement that describes the following. What do you want to achieve? What impact do you want to have on the world? And how do you want to feel along the way? Feel about yourself and the journey you're on. The nice thing is that this vision statement can serve as a North Star, guiding your decisions and keeping your actions aligned with your goals, those things that are important to you to achieve your purpose and vision. Yeah, it all comes together. It works nicely. Now, follow these steps and you are going to be in fantastic shape. But then we need to kind of figure out where the rubber meets the road. And that's what we're going to talk about in our next episode. We're going to talk about putting together SMART objectives that allow us to kind of take the conceptual of our purpose and our vision and put it into more immediate, tangible, actionable terms. So stick around and let's keep moving forward. All right, that's all I have for today. Now, go off and make some trouble. We'll talk again soon.